So perhaps you are ready to start structuring your own weeks of marathon training, or maybe you've printed a plan off the internet and you are just trying to double check that what you're using is going to get you to the starting line healthy and ready to reach your potential in that race. Or maybe you just want to have an understanding of what goes into structuring a week and how a running coach would do that. So I thought it would be a good idea if I showed you guys how I structure my weeks of marathon training with using 6 days of running per week. So stick around and I'll have that for you guys coming up. Okay, guys, so I thought it would be good to let you know how I structure my weeks of marathon training. So I always run 6 days a week, and I put that into anywhere from 18 to 20 plus weeks of training as a build up to the marathon that I'm doing. Okay, so I want to start by telling you guys what you're going to see in as far as what types of runs I'm doing within those six days of running. Okay, so I'm going to be making videos about each of these types of running. So I'm not going to get into too much about what they are. I'll just give you a little snippet, but make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button so that you can be watching for those videos that come up as I tell you more in depth about how to go about each of these types of runs and why they're so important in your marathon training. Okay, so number one is the long run. Okay, and this is just the longest run of your week. This is what's really, really important for endurance and distance running. It's what's building up your aerobic engine, what's making those adaptations occur in your body that you're able to run for hours at a time, run more miles, and build every single week. Okay, so you're gonna be building over a few weeks at a time, and then have a cutback week, and then build 3 or 4 more weeks and cut back. That long run is super important. It should be taking up around 30 to 40% of your weekly mileage. Okay, number 2 is the medium long run. This is just what it sounds like. It's not a long run and it's not a short run. Okay, it's in the middle. And so for me, these are about 8 to 12 miles in length, and this is really important for upping that mileage during the week outside of your long run. And so a lot of plans will end up having you do like a long run that ends up taking up 60 to 70% of your weekly mileage, and you don't want that. So you're going to need to have some other mid-length runs during the week. You don't want to just do a long run and then have all of your other runs be 4 or 5 miles. That's not going to work out well, not as far as you reaching your potential. And so these medium long runs, these 8 to 12 mile type runs are really important. Okay, and then the quality day, this just is like a speed work type day. You might hear it called that. I just don't want you to get the impression that you're always running around a track doing like 200, 400 meter intervals. In fact, most of the time I'm not on the track doing speed work. This could also include hill repeats or something like that. Basically that you are just stressing your body in a different way, stressing those different muscles, getting into that anaerobic zone at times in order to build some speed into your week. And then the 4th type of run is a recovery run. And these are on the schedule 3 out of 6 of my days. So I'll tell you in a minute why I do that. But the recovery run is an easy run, and you're recovering from your hard effort day the day before. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look. Before I go to the computer, let's take a look at my week. I do my long run on Mondays, which is obviously different than most other people. You're probably going to be doing your long run on a Saturday or Sunday. So if you're going to be using this schedule of mine, that's fine. Obviously, you just have to push the days back to fit yours. You can still go in obviously the same order. All right, so Monday is my long run. Tuesday is a recovery run. Wednesday, rest. And I go back to another hard day. Thursday is my quality day where I'm getting some speed. Friday is my recovery run. Saturday is the medium long run, which is considered a hard effort day. And then Sunday is a recovery run. Okay, so there are my 7 days, 6 of those being running and 1 being a complete day of rest. So you'll see a pattern here that a recovery run looks to be happening every other day. Obviously, if you were to take out the day of rest, then that's true. Okay, and that's so it goes hard day, easy day, hard day, easy day, hard day, easy day. I'm never doing 2 hard days back to back. And yes, a long run is considered a hard day. You are putting your body through a lot by adding more miles each week. It's very strenuous, and your body has to adapt to all that extra mileage. Even if it's a completely easy paced long run, it's still considered a hard run. Okay? And in a medium long run, a lot of times a coach might prescribe some hill work or something, or a little bit of speed in there, even if it's easy. And again, it's still considered a hard run because it's more mileage than you would typically do on an easy day. Okay, and so you have a recovery run the day after that. And obviously, on a quality day, you're working super hard, and getting into that anaerobic zone can put a lot of stress on your heart. And obviously, you're working your muscles harder. And so you are going to need that recovery the next day. Now, a lot of people think, well, shouldn't I be resting? Shouldn't I take the day off? And that's actually the complete opposite of what you want to be doing. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get to the computer. I'm going to show you guys what this actually looks like in from week to week as I've been going in this marathon training cycle. So I actually had to update my Strava subscription to premium today in order to do this video for you guys. I could have shown you on Garmin, but I just like the layout of this, and I'm just kidding. I didn't really do it for this video. It's like lapsed a couple weeks ago, and I've been meaning to update it. So thanks for the push there. All right, so I'm gonna just go to my week before I started, which was right here, December 28th through January 3rd. I did do 6 weeks of running just to start to get into getting my body used to running 6 days a week, but I wouldn't technically call that a week of my marathon training. The next week was my first official week of marathon training. But if you look before that, there's not really a specific structure that I had going on. I was running consistently 4 or 5 days a week as just base building. I was very consistently in like the 25 to 30 mile a week zone, which is a great base to kind of hold on to as you move into a training cycle. And then you'll see starting at January 4th through the 10th right here, everything looks similar from week to week. Okay, so here's my Monday long run. I started with 11 as my first one. The next day was a recovery run, a 5K, and then a rest. The next day was a quality day. I did a tempo run that day. Okay, so tempo runs, threshold runs, those are considered quality or speed work. Next day I did a recovery run with a friend. The medium long run on that Saturday, which I have a mom's running group that I'm a part of. And so doing my medium long run on Saturdays is perfect for me because a lot of those women like to run like 8-9 miles, something like that. And we're running at a conversational pace. And you could easily flip-flop like your quality day with your medium long run day. In fact, my quality days end up being about the same mileage as my medium long run. Usually right around, they hover around that 9 mile mark. So you could easily flip-flop those, but that's just how I structure mine. And then a recovery run the next day, which I titled Old Faithful, but you can see I was running a 9:10 pace, which is recovery run, easy pace for me. And then you can see from week to week, it's the same. Here's a long run, recovery run, rest. This was all in the same day. Those 3 dots, I just did 3 like back to back. It's because it was a time trial. So I did like a warm up, and then I did my time trial, and then I did a cool down at the end, and tread recovery, medium long run, and recovery run. Okay, and then all the way up till this week, you'll see is all the same. And then today I did a kind of rec center / a little bit of outdoor running to get in my 16-mile long run today. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm actually not technically training for a marathon as of like 2 weeks ago because I found out that it was canceled. So I am still following my marathon training plan in hopes of finding something. I just need to find the right thing. So I've been considering maybe doing a oh, what would it be? A 50K, which is like 31 miles, like an ultra. So that would be my first one. I just thought it might be a good time. So just because so many like road races are canceled right now. So that is how I structure a week of marathon training in those 18 to 20 plus weeks that I do within a training cycle. 6 days a week of running with 1 day of rest. And the last thing that I want to say, because you might be wondering, well, what about strength training? Because I didn't have any of that on here. But if you're someone who strength trains, then I would recommend doing that on a hard day. And that's just the best way to keep hard days hard, easy days easy. And I would recommend doing your running on that day first and then doing your strength training afterwards. And that's just to ensure that your legs and body aren't just completely shot before you have to go out for your run. Of course, doing the hard run is going to make the strength training feel a little bit more difficult, but I would just back off maybe on the reps or back off on the weight a little bit, especially when you're in the middle of training. Doing strength is absolutely important, but you just may not need as high of weight or as many reps there. All right, guys, so if you have any more questions about what you saw in this video, please place them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. If you got something out of this video, a new tip about how to structure a marathon training week, I would love if you give this video a like, and that will support my channel. I appreciate it so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.